Power isn't always loud. Sometimes it's inherited, passed quietly from generation to generation through structures so old, so complex, and so protected that even governments struggle to understand them. These families rarely appear in headlines. They avoid celebrity, politics, and public attention. But their influence stretches across continents, embedded in finance, land, energy, logistics, and global policy. This is the world inside the wealth dynasties, a world built not for visibility, but for permanence. When researchers studied long-term economic influence, they noticed an unusual pattern. Many of the world's most powerful assets had been controlled by the same families for over a century. Not directly, but through foundations, trusts, private companies, and offshore structures that changed names but never changed hands. The ownership appeared to shift. The control never did. In dusty archives and sealed financial records, investigators found trusts older than most nations' structures created to preserve wealth, not for one lifetime, but for 5, 10, or 20 generations. These trusts own land without revealing beneficiaries. They control corporations without public filings. They transfer power without inheritance taxes. They shield assets from political change, and they survive wars, depressions, and regime shifts. They are not legal tools. They are fortresses, built to ensure the family's influence outlives every external threat. While the public associates foundations with charity, private records reveal a deeper function. They act as strategic engines. Foundations run by elite dynasties fund academic programs, policy research, scientific development, technological standards, and even global governance initiatives. Not to advertise influence, but to shape the frameworks that future generations will inherit. A silent investment in long-term power. Wealth dynasties perfected offshore systems long before most billionaires existed. Their structures involve shell companies across multiple jurisdictions, offshore banking alliances, nominee directors, proxy ownership loops, multi-level trusts, and impenetrable confidentiality clauses. The purpose is not evasion, it is continuity. A dynasty must survive elections, crises, inflation, and scrutiny, and offshore architecture provides that armor. Some dynasties own corporations that never go public, never release financial statements, and never appear on economic lists. These companies control ports, shipping lanes, mineral rights, agricultural megastructures, infrastructure contracts, and private energy fields. They don't compete with public corporations. They rent them leverage, influence without exposure, power without a spotlight. Wealth dynasties also maintain a quiet network of alliances formed through strategic marriages, private schools, elite diplomatic circles, restricted membership clubs, multi-generational advisory boards, and discreet philanthropic groups. These networks create a continuity of influence that transcends geography and politics. A dynasty in Europe can influence a policy in Asia through a chain of relationships decades in the making. This is power by lineage. Economic collapses, currency devaluations, housing crises, geopolitical shocks, events that destabilize the world for most people are often moments of expansion for dynasties. Protected by trusts and sitting on diversified assets, they buy when others are forced to sell. They expand when markets shrink. They acquire influence when nations are at their weakest. Crisis isn't a threat, it's momentum. Attempts to fully document these dynasties were met with resistance. Records were sealed, archives restricted, researchers were pressured, journalists sued, sources were silenced, foundations suddenly restructured. Historical documents began disappearing from public libraries, not through denial, but through erasure. These families defend their privacy with strategies refined over centuries. Why construct such vast, silent structures? Because dynasties aim for influence without exposure, power beyond elections, wealth immune to crisis, continuity across centuries, strategic control of assets, decision-making without public scrutiny, a world shaped quietly from the shadows. This isn't modern power, it's ancient power updated for a global age. So the final question remains, are wealth dynasties merely rich families, or are they the backbone of global influence? Are they historical relics, or the real architects behind modern finance and policy? A coincidence of inheritance, or an intentional system designed to outlive nations? The truth lies not in their wealth, but in their structure. If you're ready to uncover the next layer of elite power, subscribe to the Hidden Codex and tell us what you believe dynasties truly control.